My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire Modded. Yes, this series has been missing for a while, but I've been horribly ill. Alright, let's go into the video game. I'm thinking, because let's be real with ourselves, the modded series, due to a lot of the interactions between a lot of the different types of items and cards and relics that exist, tends to be a little easier than the mainstream series. So I'm thinking that maybe what I want to do first is a Ascension... I don't have Ascension 20 unlocked, do I? Oh, that sucks. Why do I not have Ascension 20 unlocked? I thought I had these. Alright. Damn. Can I, like, custom run to get there? Yeah, give me that Ascension 20. Hell yeah. Alright. Well, we're gonna have no achievements or leaderboards, but I don't think that'll affect us at all. I wasn't really gonna turn anything on here. I was actually just gonna go with the Ascension 20 on a basic class and try and get through the heart. Although I'm worried that seeded runs... Oh, no, wait, this is the main branch. The heart doesn't even exist yet. Ugh. All right. Oh, we'll do an Ascension 2, apparently. Oops, but okay. Lose all gold for a random rare relic. We'll take the turnip there. We can no longer become frail. Sure. I'm liking this path on the hard right. Hells yeah. Turn that screen shake off. All right. So I want to go on the right side here because I want to try and get as many elites as I possibly can here on the first floor. It's not going to matter that we can't be weakened for many of them. Sorry, can't be made frail. Right. Never mind. That's a completely different thing. I'll take a copy of True Grit. I'm looking for like a defensive build. What is this from? Not modded content. Oh, okay. So that now appears beside events. That's nice. I'll take the 50-50 at 32. We get 32. Oh, Rune of Simplicity. Strikes and defense can be upgraded any number of times upon pick up upgrade to randomly. So what we're going to want is Rune of Simplicity, and now we want every copy of armaments that we find. And that's our deck. Rune of Simplicity armaments, and then we just dunk on all these enemies. Is there anything that will help us heavily in the interim? Not really. I don't want to be burning that many cards from my deck. Inflame, hit them where they hurt. I think I straight up hard pass. I may even cut across to this shop. Armaments is a really... That's exactly the card I didn't want to burn. Oh, well. Armaments is a very common card, so it'll be extraordinarily cheap in the upcoming store if it's there. But outside of that... Thank you for not burning the strike. I probably should just defend strike. True Grit there. Yeah, that would have been correct. Body Slam is a way to translate the block from a ridiculously upgraded defend into something that we can use. 2 for 1 on a copy of Demonic Confusion. Yeah, I don't really want that, but interesting. I mean, because it doesn't really work for anything that we do. Like, Body Slam reduces its energy costs, so it doesn't get a better effect when you Demonic Influence it. Obviously, the defense would get upgraded, and they'll just get 3 damage each time, or 3 block each time. Bash is probably just going to get 2 damage and a vulnerable each time. True Grit just gets 2 block each time, so it's underwhelming as well, because the other upgrade is just to remove random. I'm annoyed that we can't get the Shalot here. That'd be cool as heck. Yeah, I think this is just a hard pass. If we were later on, I would remove the Bash, but because we've got all of these elites coming up, probably not going to want to do that. Who's our first floor? Ooh, visit a portal room. Oh, all right. That's integrated with Replay the Spire then. This is the Infinite Spire quest log, and Replay the Spire is the one that generates those portal rooms, if I recall correctly. We definitely want Battle Trance. Bottled Soul, I don't think we have anything that'll synergize with. Anchor, King of Hearts, probably not going to take Run Through or Life Mind over the course of this run. Not when we already have Rune of Simplicity. So I'll just remove those from the quest log. Alright, who's our boss this lore? Ah, what? I did not click that card. I clicked here. How'd that card by itself? I was checking who the boss was because just in case I might want Evolve. As it turns out, maybe I do. Still mad about it though. Great, set up an Evolve. This is going to be a rough fight. He's not looking to burn the defend there. Wanted bash a turn ago, but can't always get what we want. We got to get that True Grit upgraded. It is very dutifully removing always the best card in my hand. Which, honestly, I'm not sincerely appreciating. Yeah, there's no chance at lethal next turn, so it's probably defend. Gotta set up that vulnerability so that I can guarantee that I can kill the Lagavulin over the next 2 turns. Got him. Bag preparation's really good. See, I want to rest, but I desperately want to upgrade that Body Slam or the True Grit. But we've got an Elite in the next space. If I don't rest, I'm dead. Probably should have played the Defend over the top of that instead. No. Thankfully, these days are actually just going to be completely mitigated. I haven't got much damage left in my deck, so killing that frontliner negates 9 damage next turn that I'm extremely unlikely otherwise to be able to deal with. Ugh. That many cards and that few defenses? Good thing I rested before we came in here. I'm gonna play the extra defense. I think it's relatively likely that I draw something that's capable of dealing either 7 damage or 2 attacks. Extremely sad to not get Body Slam that turn, considering it was the bottom card of our deck. It's just the absolute next card. Right, and let us finish it off. Hell yeah. Orichalcum if you end your turn without block and 6 block, as well as... I'll take a copy of Whirlwind. Helps provide some AoE that the deck doesn't currently have access to. 3 Thorns from Bronze Scale there. Necrogeddon. I don't exhaust that many cards. I think we're probably just passing here. Mobius Coin is gain an additional 50 gold, rather, every time you complete a quest. Counterbalance is from Replay the Spire. It is during boss and elite fights. Enemy strength gain, block gain, and healing is reduced by half. And the cigarette pack is from Black Mod. Lose 5 HP on pickup. That is max HP. All enemies start with -1 strength. Not really comfortable taking any of those. Where are all these armaments? Where are my armaments at? I elected to play Evolve that turn just because I don't want to draw back into it. I might need to take Wild Strike just so that I have the ability to take out the Elite and that, and the Slime Boss. Like, I don't want it or in fact, the Evolve as part of my core synergy, but if I gotta, then I gotta. If I'm just always waiting on the right cards for the right synergy, eventually I'll be dead. And no card's going to save me from that at that point. I don't want to waste 5 damage pushing through the front line there. Go. Woo, hell yeah, go for that self buff. I appreciate it. Charge. We need something that scales because this deck currently doesn't really do anything. So charge is going to be particularly handy for that. Thank you, Whirlwinds. I don't want to say it's a definite thing, but I possibly would have died in that fight without the Whirlwind. Should have just been double strike after that as well, by the way. Well, this is nice at least. Come on. That could have been better. Really wanted to be able to get the feed off. I got the feed just so that I can get some max HP to try and help me along while I wait. King of Hearts. Whenever you lose HP during your turn, gain twice that much blocks. Stunning Strike. I don't know if it's ever incorrect to take that. Thank you. I think True Great needs to stop randomly targeting things. Like right about now. Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. Because we've just lost way too many core cards. As a result. Here's hoping I get that Stunning Strike next turn. Oh! Bottom card! All right. Here we go. It's time to win the video game. I Stunning Strike you this turn. The stun is interrupted. I want to know how that works. Do nothing for one turn. You tried to split that turn. Now you're trying to split this turn. Okay, that's good. That's working vaguely how I would... Well, vaguely. Exactly how I would have hoped. Excellent. That's why counter is in the deck. Because without counter, I had no possibility of winning this fight. With counter, I did have a possibility, but I still lose. The 2 attacks there weren't going to be enough to split the enemy. Alright. God, I am seriously not capable of using a mouse right now. It feels like the sensitivity is super off. 8 max HP for 2 random colorless cards. I mean, that's so broad. High roll, low roll. But we're in the modded series, so... Alright. Woo! Hell yeah! Master of Strategy, draw 3, and Private Reserves. Gain an energy, exhaust retained, but the upgrade is draw 1 card, so it has no downside at that point. Well... Velvet Choker, Normality, Gremlin Knob. Look, there are downsides, but... they're fringe, to say the least. They're the kinds of things that I would mention if we were talking about it as a strong strategy, but not in passing. You don't need to always go into the absolute most minute detail of every single different thing. For instance, when I was talking about multiplicative effects recently, I mentioned that, that is to say multiplicative effects because I was talking about, in that circumstance, I was talking about win conditions, right? And the win conditions that can get most out of control include multiplicative effects. So Limit Break doubling your strength, or Entrench doubling your block, which you then use a Body Slam to take advantage of. Or a catalyst, right? Tripling the poison that's on the target. Now, there's another multiplicative effect in the game as well, double energy. That's in the base game, by the way. There's another multiplicative effect in the base game as well, double energy. But it's not included in that discussion because it's not relevant to that discussion. That discussion is a discussion of win conditions that are achieved by multiplicative effects. And double energy is not really a win condition. Yes, you can use double energy and play an X-Cost card thereafter. But you know how many double energies you have to play before a Tempest is a single kiss kill? Wow, single shot kill. It's not even a similar word. Oh, you... You. I may actually end up taking Enrage. Enrage, Anger. Part of the reason is because we already have a Master of Strategy, so we have a lot of draw. So we can get the Anger engine up early. Yeah, let's run something a little out there. One of the things I've actually been most impressed by recently is a relic in the base game. Brimstone. At the start of your turn, you gain 2 strength and all enemies gain 1 strength. Because it turns just having a ridiculous amount of low-cost attacks in your deck to a very quick win condition. It is wild. I kind of want to take the Iron Wave here. Either that or Pommel Strike. Iron Wave provides defense. Pommel Strike provides draw. The draw provided from Pommel Strike is going to help offset the possibility of playing a 0-cost Rage so that I can benefit from the extra block that we would be getting over the course of all of those attacks. So, this is optimistic. This is realistic. I'll take the Iron Wave currently. And we'll see what we come back for. Hell yeah. It has to be Offering. Yeah, this whole deck just gets started really quickly with Offering. Life Mind? Yeah, that's unlikely. Rampage? Not with this deck. Reckless Charge? Not with this deck. Feel No Pain? Not with this deck. Life Mind? Not with this deck. Alright. So if I go on the left, I get an early shot. I only get 1 single rest opportunity, but I get a bonfire at the end. Whether or not you consider a bonfire necessarily to be a good thing. Obviously, it's a nice space, but you're not guaranteed to have a rest. And if you need to rest before the final boss, you might be out of luck. Might be straight up SOL. I like that we have the damage taking animation there. All's good. Hell yeah. Yeah, probably an easy pass on all of those. Skill. At the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to all enemies. Not unplayable anymore, but it doesn't have a cost, so... I think maybe putting the unplayable keyword on there prevents this from occurring. Because then the game can't quote-unquote play it at the end of the turn. I kind of want to take it just because I've never had it before. I have a fair amount of draw in this deck. Sure. I wonder... Can that card be retained as well as getting its effect? So you can play it, but only if it's in your hand at the end of the turn does it have any effect. Okay, that's interesting. Yep, there's the 8, and it exits our hand. Okay. There's another... It is unaffected by vulnerability, which means I have to imagine it is definitely unaffected by by strength. Ornamental Fan, every time to play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. I mean, that's exactly the kind of thing we want in this deck. Phantom Shield is a lot of block for very little energy. I think because we keep making our deck thicker with the Angers, I think we're fine. I think we're fine to take an Exhaustive 2 card. May even be to our benefit. Doesn't count as an attack played for the sake of Ornamental Fan now. Am I going to get a better HP value to split them at later? No. Oh, sorry. No. Yes. Yes, I might. Well, they're splitting at the end of this turn from the... Oh, Deadly Aura is affected by weakness? No, it looks like it's affected by weakness. It'll still deal 8. I'm almost certain. No, he deals 6. So it's affected by weakness, but it's not affected by vulnerability. Okay, so vulnerability is an effect on an enemy. Weakness is an effect on us. Will it be affected by strength? If it's affected by strength, this could be wild. Right, Acid Slime. Meet your maker. Affected Strike versus Flex versus Corruption. Flex has a place in this deck, obviously. Pennib. Every 10th attack you play deals double damage. Hell yeah, we are very heavily incentivized to just play a bunch of attacks. Oh, it sucks to have all of my defensive cards in this hand. Okay, so it is affected by strength. Just took 10 damage on the enemy there. Fine. Ugh. I was eyeballing the amount and I was 1 short in my guesstimation there. Whenever you take HP damage, gain 2 gold from Midas Blood. That's a 2nd copy of Anger. Yeah. We're going all the way on this one. Runic Icosahedron. Hell yeah. All right. We got to start using this every single fight. We got 11. We get 100 gold as a result. Outskilled. Could have killed that enemy that turn. I was just waiting for a better opening, of course. Yeah, I want 4 more gold. Shame I only got 2. There we go. Thank you. Whoa, okay, so Thorns also affect us. Why does Thorns affect us? That's an effect on the enemy. If Vulnerability doesn't affect Deadly Aura, why does Thorns? That... It's power on the enemy. So all buffs and debuffs by the game are considered powers. I don't know. Take a Steroid Potion, Phantom Shield, Clash, True Grit. I could probably take Clash in this deck. Bunch of 0-cost attacks. This might be a Violence deck? Be interesting to run. Oh, Runic Icosahedron get 3 Void to our draw pile. Hell yeah. Should have done that earlier. Hopefully I would have drawn them already. Alright, well this is the best turn. I can wake you up like this. 2 more Voids in that draw pile, so we know we're not going to be able to play anything. If this offering draws in Clash, I'm going to be real sad. Okay, it didn't. I do want the vulnerability out there. Both those voids are now gone, so we're back into the world where we actually get to play our Clash. If we end up with it. Did that deal double the damage? Did Deadly Aura deal double the damage without utilizing the Pen Nib charge? We've got a Warding Shard from Infinite Spire. For each act you climb, gain 1 dex at the start of each combat. Another Anger? We actually do need a higher density of the attacks right now. If we want this deck to work in the way that I'm kind of intending. Not a bad opening turn. We got fair bit of artifact there as well. Nice. Okay. And we can take the extra flex. We're building thick. Let's go. Yeah, I guess rest. Rest and upgrade. Hell yeah, hit the offering as well. Nice. It's gonna be really good for hallway fights. Another 100 gold? Sure. Seems good. Alright. We've got a Clash in the next hand, hopefully. There it is. It's a pretty good turn right there. Right. Offering's also giving us 2 gold per time it's used. I mean, that's not obviously insanely huge, but it adds up. My God, does it add up. All right. Flawless as well. Fiendfire. Yeah, I'd probably take a Fiendfire in this deck. Burn out some of the worst cards. Last normals and a Lager Fallen. Yeah, you're already passed on that one, bud. Sword Burial. Add 3 attack cards to your hand. They cost 0 and exhaust. This works with the general idea of the build. Oh no, obviously, Brutality. We'll get 2 gold a turn as well as an extra card. Yeah, Brutality. What's this? Royal Goblet. Gain energy at the start of each turn. Draw 1 fewer cards each turn. The thing is, energy is not actually a ridiculous concern of ours. We intend to play a lot of 0-cost attacks. Speaking of playing a lot of 0-cost attacks, we're not going to want Velvet Choker. We've got Private Reserves, Master of Strategy, Offering. Yeah, this is not a Velvet Choker deck. 1 fewer cards each turn is really... Oh, that's... I don't know if I would take that for 2 extra energy at the start of each turn. Not right now, at least. I'm taking the Black Blood just because the other options, I believe, will kill me. Okay. I could visit a portal room for 79 gold. There's actually a path that incorporates a portal room that ain't that bad. Right, get 1 of those plated armor points off. Private Reserves. Ah, no! Deadly Aura and Clash are anti-synergistic. Of course they are. I don't know why I didn't even think of that. At the very least, I can play the Deadly Aura in order to activate the Clash. Still not a great feeling, though. Reversal. Keep block at the end of the next 2 rounds. Gain 3 reflection. Oh, yeah. No, I played with that. It's awesome. It's real good. We actually have 2 extra decks at the start of each combat from the warding shard, so we would be able to utilize that, but I very much want to go with this aggressive build. Speaking of... Why? We got the natural 20! Alright, Runic Icosahedron. Gain energy at the start of each turn. You may no longer roll the Icosahedron. We could have gotten a 1, which would have permanently put a void in our deck, right? Isn't it like a curse that's a void or something? I've rolled it a couple times in this series. I can't imagine how I've forgotten that I have. My sincerest apologies. And yeah, I'm not super keen on taking a bunch of extra damage there, thanks. Sharpening Stone. Choose 2 attacks in hand that gain piercing for the rest of combat. Ignores block when dealing damage. Whoa! Startup triggers at the start of each combat. A random attack in your deck gains piercing for the rest of combat. Huh. How important is piercing? Would I play a card that says all of your attacks always pierce? Yes. What would I pay for it? Two? Like maybe 2? Consider Inflame Plus. 3 extra damage per attack you use. Obviously, this is going to be better for single large attacks, whereas Inflame Plus is going to be better for large amounts of small attacks. But I'm trying to think, overall, does the increase in damage by ignoring a target's block, consider that not that many enemies generate that much block? Will the damage be worth it? Especially because this Sharpening Stone sharpens 2 cards in your hand, so what if you don't draw it with the right cards, right? I don't know. I don't know about that one. I could actually probably put Perfected Strike and start putting Perfected Strikes in this deck. I don't want to, but I could. We'll remove a card here. Probably a strike. Yeah. It's just a anger that costs 1 and doesn't duplicate. Ugh, that's so bad. God. Bad hands. All right. Yes, I didn't need to use the exhaustive charge of that card. No, it's not going to matter. There you go. It's another Deadly Aura? What? Is it in my hand or the discard? Oh, it did it again, so it's apparently in my hand. I don't know what just happened with that. 1 for all and all for 1. Deal 2 damage. Each time this card is played, permanently increase its damage by 3. Is it early enough for me to take a copy of this and feel good about it? Yes. Especially because if Bottled Soul ever appears, it could be a wild time for us. Yes. All seems to be going according to plan now. Another Iron Wave, another great defensive option for us. We'll enter the portal, go out on the other side, claim our money. And I'm going to use the Ancient Potion as well as the Steroid Potion in order to buff my attack for this combat. Because I don't particularly believe that we scale early well enough to deal with the Gremlin Wizards especially. Right, one down. Let's get the private reserves out of there so that we can throw out that clash. I need to be watching the pen nib more closely. I probably could have just gone for lethal in the backline there with the pen nib on the clash. Oh well. Thread and Needle at the start of each combat gain 4 plated armor. Berserk, Sever Soul, and Heavy Blade. None of the above. Don't really need them. Upgrade all strikes and defense. I mean, we still have 4 of each in the deck. I think that's going to be way more impactful than removing anything, that is. Yeah, I didn't need to play the private reserves there. I was trying to thin down the size of my hand, but as soon as I played it, I was like, that one wasn't necessary, was it? Turns out there's a strong no on that. Alright, I'm gonna leave Deadly Aura to do its thing. Rather than interrupt. Right, and the Taskmaster ought to be going down. Post haste, toot, sweet. That'll get it done. Centennial Puzzle. The first time you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards. That's really good when we also have Offering, which is now drawing 8 cards. 0 energy, as well as giving us some energy back. Readied action now also reduces the cost of the card that you retain. Does that push it over? I think it could. They cost 1 less energy next turn, so it's 2 boost on the next turn as well. In a heavy draw deck, this is super useful. We don't have heavy draw, and we also don't need energy reduction. Energy cost reduction. So, Bronze Scale, start each combat with 3 Thorns. Sounds good. I'll probably use the Echo Draft to win the Colosseum combat if I can. I'll definitely be taking the Colosseum combat because it's fun. I want to do that. And gotta make sure that I play one for all every battle. Victory! A powerful fight with many rewards. Go for the Gremlin Knob in the back line because it's the only one capable of making us vulnerable on turn 2. Now this draws 8 cards. Thank you, Centennial Puzzle. All right. 12 on the back line. Yeah, that Gremlin Knob is going down in the first round. See how this is a 6 that's not making us vulnerable? That's because otherwise, if both of them were attacking with vulnerability on the first turn, which they tried to do in High Ascension, the first one would attack you and make you vulnerable, which would increase in the middle of your opponent's turn, quote unquote, the damage that the second one is doing, which is a little unintuitive. As a result, the front line can't make you vulnerable on turn 2. when... Oh, hell yes. Pocket Watch. Whenever you play 3 or less cards during your turn, draw 3 additional cards at the start of your next turn. 100 gold, elixir, as well as... Ooh. Habit doesn't go in this deck. Cool. Bottled Soul. Upon pickup, choose an exhaust card. Whenever you play that card, it no longer exhausts. And a broken bottle, a broken soul. I also like the reference in the change of the art to reference the fact that the relic is commonly broken. We could put it on all for one, but the problem... Oh, sorry, one for all. But the problem is, how many times do I play one for all over the course of a single combat? Even if I go through my deck multiple times, how many times do I do it? Like twice or 3 times maximum? That's still 3 times the amount of damage increase. And also, that's exactly the combo I was talking about when I was drafting it, so... I'm going to elect not to play another attack this turn so that I can draw 3 additional cards next turn from Pocket Watch. I'm exhausting all of those cards out of our hand because the offering is about to refill it. Yeah, so it just gets discarded. Cool. I really don't like that the Nightmare can change its action in response and end your turn. It kind of breaks with the standard design for the game. Literally, what I was just talking about is, that is to say, in the victory in the Colosseum, is that in the base game, the developers take great pains to make sure that nothing unexpected occurs. Everything that you see in your enemy's intents is everything that occurs. But the Nightmare shifting reality to force you into your turn and then changing to an attack, that is a little different. That said, I shouldn't be proccing it at all. I should just be standing here and going, oh, how much HP do they have left? Cool, I'll wait. And then leaving it. Ooh. After taking 26 damage in a single turn, Nightmare, without a T, will shift reality, forcing you to end your turn. But it counts the damage that's taken against their block. Take damage doesn't usually count block. Well, hang on, does it? Take damage on a character, as in ourselves, does go against block. But take damage when you have, like, static lightning doesn't. What's the wording of static lightning? I should check that later. Not a half bad turn right there. Hell yeah, one for all. Pet Ghost adds a ghost card to your hand every turn, and your max hand size is increased by 1. Because of the max hand size increase, this doesn't have as obvious or as tangible and negative as it used to. So, sure, totally, I'll take it. Shrug It Off would actually just be a nice card. Draws a card, would benefit from the warding shard as well. We do need a little bit more block. I want one for all upgraded because if we're playing it multiple times to fight, it's really important we upgrade that. Transform a card. Yeah, we could probably transform that Bash pretty happily. It's very expensive. Or we could get one of these defends out of the deck, although don't feel too great about doing that. I kind of want to get the Deadly Aura out of the deck. I think this deck can't capitalize upon it. And it transforms into a colorless card as well. And we got Trip, which is pretty much exactly what we would have wanted. Pretty happy about that. Max hand size increased by 1. Okay, so I can actually pay the offering now. Okay, so I'm not going to be triggering the pen nib this turn, which means that I can just go hog wild. All right, and pop the head louse there. None of those count as louse. Well, louse normal, I guess. Fair enough. Regal Pillow. Whenever you rest, heal an additional 15 HP, as well as Blood for Blood Whirlwind Evolve. Whirlwind's not necessarily bad. Provide some AoE the deck currently struggles with. Alright. Giant Parasite. Let's see what you can do. Let's just start working that plated armor down. Your self buff. Oh, +3 to your plated armor as well as +1 to your strength. Okay. Does that happen every turn? No. Just on the buff turns. But this is a attack and a buff. The Parasite has an attack buff, but the attack buff is heal for the unblocked damage. I can't imagine that's the same in this scenario right now. All of those out before we get the offering. Yep, just want more angers. Battle Trance could go in this deck, I think. Would have to be very careful about when I play it, though. Alright, 36. That's lethal. All for One is going to be pretty ridiculous soon. Limit Break. We don't really gain strength at all. Got 2 copies of Flex. Waiting for Flex and Limit Break in the same hand, though, can be real sad. Stunning Strike allows me to kind of just steal a turn from an enemy, and with the amount of zero-cost cards that I have, I can accomplish a lot on that same turn. Gain energy at the start of each turn. Start each combo with 2 less dexterity. I'm fine with that. I have 3 extra decks already. I'm not even using it. I don't really play any dex cards. Good fetch. I want to get the Repulsor down, actually, this turn, if I can. And I can. I just don't want any deck trashing going on, especially because of the Clash. Alright. So I can still attack you a couple times. We're all good on that front. Whew. All works out in the end. Another Phantom Shield. Body Slam. We actually do end up with ridiculous block on some turns, but no. We'll pass. Alright, Orb Walker. Show us what you got. Actually, if you could just show us a little less, thank you. Yeah. This is definitely going to be a Stunning Strike turn. Oh, I love it. Just do nothing for 1 turn. Hell, even managed to fully defend. The ornamental fan is very, very, very much taking care of us right now. Appreciate it. Rage was supposed to go in this deck. I mean, Rage isn't affected by decks either. God, I need Pommel Strike. Like, very badly. Alright, more. Yeah, nothing doing on that one. Yeah, that's the offering. I know, we overdrew. It's okay, though. In the end, we dealt a reasonable amount of damage. I gotta keep an eye on the pen nib still. Let's try and put it first and foremost. It's actually further out of my view, but we'll see. So we've got to set up for the next pen nib charge. I was wondering whether or not it would be a whirlwind that I wanted to hit. Okay, as you slowly make your way up the twisting pathways, we are probably going to have to retrace our steps here. Not a particularly huge fan of trashing up my deck right now. I could play a swipe, or I could just not and get 3 extra cards next turn. That sounds better to me. Stun the back line off. Okay. Probably could have used the private reserves that turn for the extra damage. Yeah, that probably would have been a clever move. In lieu of that clever move, I will instead try and set up for my next whirlwind. Which looks a lot like that. Leading Strike. Deal 4 damage. Reduce the cost of an attack in your hand to 1 this round. Reduction to 1 means you're only saving 1 on a 2-cost card, right? So you're going to have a better effect than that, because something that was 1 energy, deal 4 damage, gain 1 energy, that's 0 energy, deal 4 damage. You don't draft that, right? So it needs to be a 3 attack or a 4 or a 5 or something like that, right? For I guess like an unupgraded Blood for Blood, 5 would be a Meteor Strike that you somehow got through a Prismatic Shard or something similar. What's the upgrade? To 0. Okay, 0. Well, that gets pretty... okay. This round as well. Does anything use the terminology this round in this game? I thought it was always this turn. Yeah, this turn. Is the difference when it says round instead of turn to imply that you can draw it again and play it again? Because it's not reduce it until you until it's played? I don't know. And frankly, I'm not certain I want to find out right now. I'm going to cut across the shop in the next space, don't worry. Oh, this is not getting better for the Raptorman's sake. It's just all downhill from here. Mercury Hourglass at the start of each turn. Deal 3 damage to all enemies. Charge. We don't get long into fights, though, anymore. Not with this deck, so I don't have to take charge. Get an additional 50 gold for each quest you complete. How many quests are we going to complete, rather, in this room? None? So I'll just take the tiny chest, gain 30 gold on pickup. You're 10% more likely to find record quest microoms. I mean, I should probably just buy a lot of... Oh, no. I could even for sale... Or... Hear me out. I could try and fight the storekeeper and get a ridiculous amount of block. Plated armor, rather. No, I'm afraid it's stealing time. That was very poorly handled on my part. I was thinking, oh, I'll use the anger so that I have more copies of anger in my deck. That sounds good. But instead, I just set myself to a point where the pen nib is not capable of being useful for me, where it otherwise would have. That's a rough. Also, with the Echo Draft. Don't have to use that word in real life, so I'm just thrown by it constantly. The Echo Draft, I'm probably going to want to throw that on top of Stunning Strike. Although the enemy does have 2 artifacts, so... Yeah, stun has to count as a debuff. I can't assume that it does otherwise. Or rather that it... I can't assume otherwise that it doesn't. There we go. Do I want the extra defense? I already have it. Alright, enemies buffing their strength this turn, which is obviously going to be a problem. I don't see how it could be helpful. I'm looking for the most high impact card that I can get next turn. Because I've already got a double damage, so I'm thinking Whirlwind would be obviously amazing. Even after all that, it's not going to do enough damage to actually do anything. There's no reason to play it. It would just remove their block. And their block already gets removed before they start taking the Thorns damage, so... should just hold off. This, though, this looks a lot more promising. Hmm. 4x15 is 60. Enemy has 32 on top of 55, which means 87 damage that I have to get through. There's no way that I can do that this turn, but I can definitely kill you next turn. You will die by my hand. Also, I'm just getting a ridiculous amount of money out of this. I love it. Worst case scenario, I could use the Echo Draft, double up on Trip, and then use the Stunning Strike here. That said, I'm feeling like that's probably not going to be necessary. Mobius Coin, gain an additional 50 gold every time you complete a quest, as well as the Tiny Chest, gain 30 gold. You're 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms. The Toy Ornithopter to gain 5 HP every time we use a potion, as well as a Body Slam I don't want, a Sword Boomerang I don't want, Havoc I don't want, Armaments I don't want, Inflame I actually do, Madness I don't, Secret Technique, yes, Doom Strength and Essence of Steel. I do want Strength and Essence of Steel. Alright. So the nice rug is 1 plated armor at the start of each combat for every 50 gold we have. That's a lot. We have a lot. So let me just do some quick calculations. And carry the a lot. We have a lot. King of Hearts, whenever you lose HP during your turn, gain twice that much block. That Inflame upgraded. Yeah, that's just 30 cash block at the end of every single turn. Don't you get 30 block at the end of every single turn? I just thought that's how that went. If I stun you, do you not become invulnerable? I must know. Ah, okay. You don't. It's very interesting. Alright, I've got a doubling effect ready, so... just double up on the awful one. Meat on the Bone. If your HP is at or below 50% at the end of combat, heal for 12 HP. And upgraded Anger. This was supposed to be a violence deck. Oh, this is a quote-unquote merchant shop. A merchant spot. That's not supposed to be able to happen. Oh no, it's a question mark after a shop that can't be a merchant, not the inverse. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I was wrong. Excellent. Take that, Spire growth. I mean, I've got enough block. It doesn't matter. The plated armor is so ridiculous. That's why I definitely had to take that fight, because I knew that we had so much money that Nice Rug was just going to guarantee we never ever took damage from then on. Which, when you don't take any damage, the game becomes really easy. I'll make sure to take an attack here so that I can play the Clash. I need to remove all of these defense from the deck. They are very, very seriously weighing us down. Okay, it tried to generate a new action, but the stun overrode it. Good. Ready to action, Body Slam Headbutt. No, thank you. We'll take the Whetstone. It upgrades Clash and Anger. And look, I want to reduce the cost of the Stunning Strike, but it's our final fight. Don't do Decker. It has to be Trip. Oh, damn. It's a pretty good opening turn right there. And it works out really well in the end. We didn't draw anything there that we desperately wanted to be able to play. So I don't have to lament the fact that I couldn't play him. And it enabled me to get out a 0-cost card. So 1 for all on the back line. We've got that down. Okay, we've got the hand size for the offering as well. Inflame. I kind of just wanted this to be an Inflame, Rage, Anger deck. Like, that in general is what I was trying to draft towards. It went many different directions, but a lot of those different win conditions are viable in different fights. So it kind of all worked out in the end. Okay, didn't achieve any of those, and we'll see how this goes, but not enough. Consciousness fades, victory. Yeah, I was worried about this. Well, obviously I was... Wait, hang on. Maybe I have to do an individual run on each of the characters before I unlock the heart. Because I can't remember if the heart is in the actual current main branch or not. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody. That was beyond perfect as well. Damn, look at that score. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.